now that the queen is gone, let me tell you what this means for a lot of people. This is like a warning. And everybody say, I'm a prophet, I'm a prophet, I'm a prophet. Everybody's saying that. But I'm speaking to you from what my spirit says I should say. This is a warning, because God do speak to me. And this is a warning. Now that this is happening, this is a warning for you to get ready. This is like, it's time to get your ducks in a row. It's time to get your lamp well filled and keep filled. Because from these Masonic people was waiting for a king. And the way it came was under chaos. So that should be a sign for us that more chaos will come. This is a sign of the New World Order. This is the sign saying the temple is going to be built. So 2023 is not one of them years that I see you're going to say, oh, it's going to get better. No, it's not. Prepare for war against your soul. I should even say it like that. There is a war against your soul. So prepare for this war, meaning you gotta stand firm in God and keep the full armor on. So this is not the time to worry about money, because the central bank's about to roll out their cash in their digital forms. And you gotta be ready for that to happen. And it will be soon. It will be soon. So get ready for that. And they're going to try and trap people with money. Because God said you cannot serve two masters. You can't serve God and you can't serve money. It's either or. You can't have both. Okay? I'm not saying it's not good to have money, because you need to buy things, get things. But when you start, it's taking over your life now, like that's all you move to strive for, then that's a problem. So anybody out here talking about money transfer, That's not of God. Because God is not preparing you for earthly wealth. You're supposed to be ready for your spiritual wealth. The New World Order is intact. It's been setting up form since 9/11. And now each thing that happened behind another. It's like strategies. It's like they're playing chess. And the majority of the world is led astray because they're kind of slow. Because they're so stuck what the media say, and they think what other people are saying to them is real. Most of these celebrities are not real people because they're characters playing another character role. You know, some of them they got biolabs that they can buy suits and have a fake chip of brain, and so you think it's a real person, but it's not a real person. You have celebrities that out there that is living 3, 4, 5 lives as a character, you know, and you over here thinking that's a real person. That's when it's somebody else acting as somebody else and you think it's real life. That's what they mean by the Matrix. It's not real because they make it not real. When they say it's Mandela effect, it's because we remember Mandela dying. And then they said, oh, he did not die. Because when that happened, it was chaos and stuff. So they came back and say he's not dead. And then after a sudden, you see him with Masonic symbols and Masonic stuff. It just was weird because I remember it says he's dead. And then out of a sudden, he's not dead. That makes you think. That's what it's called, a Mandela effect. Because you swear he's dead, and then out of nowhere, he's not dead. It didn't make any sense with that, right? The Mandela effect. I have to go get my cat. That's why I cut it off. I should have just kept on talking. But the Mandela effect is one generation sees something, and then the other generation sees something else. And while another generation see what the new generation see, and then the generation before that sees the original thing. So they call it a Mandela effect. But the Mandela effect is named after, remember, we saw Mandela dying. And then they come back and say he's not dead. Now you see that most of these celebrities are not real people. It's a set of people that pretend to be somebody else. It's a character that's played in real life as a person when it's acting by somebody else. Some of these celebrities are acting. And you thinking, oh, it's somebody else. When it's somebody else. Okay, let me give you an example. You think Nicki Minaj is a total different person. But it's Beyonce. But Beyonce is a total different person. Because she's a man. You know what I mean? Okay. I was just an example. Okay? Let me that was a bad example. All right. Okay. What's his name? What's that? Now, let me get a celebrity that be acting like somebody else. And there's somebody else. Okay. Like Diddy, Kanye West, and Azealia Banks. They're all the same people. Right? That gonna make you think and go look now, huh? You're gonna be looking now like, what? What is she talking about? But that's it. These people are not real. The same way how the news is not real. It's the same way how it's all scripted. That's why they've been saying you live in a... What they keep saying? A stimulation. We live in a stimulation. That's the stimulation. That everything is... It's like a programming. Everything. You got celebrities pretending to be somebody else. And it's supposed to be reality. You have scripted life. You have news that's scripted. Everyone's saying the same thing. And they choose what to tell you. Because it goes with their programming. Cartoons, movies, even commercials. Everything has some form of programming, some type of manipulation. The same thing with money. Money was always digital because it's IOUs, how they come into paper form, and now they're trying to transfer it into coding in the computer because everything is now connected to the cyber community now. Now it's virtual reality now. You hear what I'm saying? Virtual reality now. So all likes and everything is fake. It's not real. That's why it's stimulated, because it's all programmed in such a way that each generation are manipulated in that aspect of ways. So, like, if my grandmother, when she cooked and stuff, she put all her pots and pans in the oven. And then my mama grew up doing the same thing. Now I grew up doing the same thing, not knowing, because maybe I saw them do it, so I'm doing it too. So most things is not even done because that's how it's done. People is just doing it like that because it was programmed that way. That each generation followed the next without even questioning anything. So we were like grown up not to question nothing, just to follow. So they grow in the system of followers, not leaders. So they're mentally making slaves. So it was made that way for you to fail. And they make it look like, oh, you work so hard, it's make it like it's easy when it's not. It was programmed that way. That's why they have to do so much of stuff, and the best way to hide stuff is in plain sight. So they actually tell you what they do without telling you what they do. But they told you without making it seem like they told you. Wordplay. All the sacrifices and we have to do, make it seem like, and then they tell you that you got to go sacrifice and to make stuff. And they actually told you what they did. They made sacrifices to get where they're at. And you thinking it's sweat, blood, and tears. They're working hard. I just want you to see the reality of the fakeness. Because they openly telling you that they serve Satan. They openly tell you that they serve Baal. They openly tell you these things with hand gesture, hand signals, clothes attire, symbolic of chains, features what they wear. No, it's like they are slaves, trapped in chains, but with diamonds on them. So they're basically telling you they're like the slave master. They like the slave masters jockey that they left in control. They're like the best way to call them, an overseer. You got the master, and then you have the slave master, and you got the overseer. So the overseer is the one that keep the slaves intact. So they know how to lead them. So that's who these people was empowering stuff. They're like puppets. They're the ones who go by the rules that was given to them that they also have to follow. So that's what it is. Because to break that down even more, then I would have to tell you more. And I'm going to leave that for another segment. Because now I want to explain the underworld. what the Bible calls Sheol. I gotta explain the whole of that to you. The whole thing. I explain a few things now, but there's more to explain. I want you to understand. But you gotta see the fakeness. You gotta understand that as much as we serving God, they serve Satan. They offer their stuff to Baal and other entities that follows. Okay? Like Kaliba. That signifies for death. And they have that sign all over the place. And then you have Baal. That's been in the Bible from ancient of days. It's been in the Bible. Those that goes under Luciferians. Then you got the Baphomet. Yeah. I would have to go into that to tell you what those things are. But you can look it up yourself. Even if I don't explain it to you right now. But you have to understand about the fakeness of it all. This is full. And there's a lot of people led astray because they idolize these people. And you can't lead them back to God because they're stuck in what they believe in. And when you try to tell them, it takes the fun out of their fun. So when you say it a few times, you gotta let it be. Don't make a fuss and fight over it. Just let it be. You're gonna have people gonna talk crap about you, talk stuff about you, speak bad on your name. You say one or two times about it, and then just let it go. Because just as the people before you, they were mocked and criticized and talked bad about. Just let it go. Let it be. Let them talk about you. Do it. Let them go. Because at the end of the day, the way God's gonna bless you, don't worry about what they do to you on earth. The way God's gonna bless you where you're going, it doesn't even matter now. Let them do them. That's beneath your worries. That's beneath your worries. Don't worry about it. Be prepared for what is coming. Because when I saw the death, I'm like, this is spooky. This is spooky. I didn't like how it happened. How the death of Elizabeth happened. It just seemed like her son wanted it so bad. It has no remorse. It just is like, it's just how it is, because his own mother didn't really want to give it to him. Because even when she was alive, he was supposed to go into the act of it, and she didn't want to do it. She was ready to prepare her grandson for it. You know, she was ready to skip him because she didn't like his wife. I'm like, it, and then I'm like, and she said even if he has it, his wife wouldn't be called queen. She had another name for her. And now she's queen and he's king. Even with when Diana was alive, how that happened. The same woman he's with now and married. Back then it's the same woman he was cheating on her with. And that was just funny. Everything when it comes to Charles is funny. It's just spooky. It's like he reigns with death follow his name. So nothing good will come while he's here. It's a lot of expect a lot of stuff. Okay? And I've been watching the Prince of Saudi Arabia, Trump's son, the son-in-law. Been watching him too. I'm watching the Pope. These figures, I am watching because they're the ones with have authority and some type of power, and it's spooky. It's spooky. And God said, keep watch, and I am watching these people to the point that I'm like, when this happened, like I knew it was going to because of the Times newspaper. They were talking about the picture, how the picture was looking. It make it look simple, how the picture was. It was a crowd. In the front of it was Biden, and then the side of the picture, you have one half is on fire, other half it was cold, but it was like the ice, but it was melting. And then the queen was standing on the ice that was melting. On the floor, it was like frosty. And the other side, it was like dry, like it was burnt. And each layer with the chairs behind them is faded out, so you can't really see the face, but there's one face in there that kind of look suspicious and demonic. You see clouds of dust. So they basically saying prepare for a cold winter. Even before this whole war started, that picture was symbolizing of that. So it's like they've been against humanity. So this war of good and evil been here. And every president that talks, they always talk about the New World Order. And this order is with Satan. Because they're against God's Sabbath day. He went and tempted Eve on his Sabbath day. When he was resting, he went and tempted them. He couldn't tempt Adam, so he seduced Eve. And everybody say, "Oh, he was a lion." He was. Everybody think he's lying when you say he was a man. It was a man. They called him snake because he was sneaky because he knew God was resting. He knew about God's Sabbath day. He knew about it. And that's what he did. He did slick, sly, went in there, sneaked up in there to tempt Eve. That's what he did. He tempted Eve. Because his first sin was hatred and jealousy and pride. He hated, he was jealous of God, and his pride for humanity. So now we know all these things. He even made a fuss, argument, and he did all this on his rest day. When God's rest day was over and he went to go see them, how y'all know y'all naked? And he gave them clothing from an animal. Gave it to them so they can put on clothes. Because they had tree leaves on that they wrapped up together to make a garment. And even when that, God, of course, God was mad. Michael don't play by God. Gabriel don't play by God. Those are like the guardian angels, the archangels, the one that protects the throne of God. They protect the heavens. They're like the leading soldiers in heaven. You know, God with all his might, he kicked them out. And Michael so helped with it. And then Gabriel. Gabriel was good enough to talk to him while he locked him up. Michael didn't want nothing to say to him. He slashed his face and gushed his eyes. That's why you see them down here all in one eye. They're all in one eye. Because Michael did that. Before he got locked up, God locked him up. He was locked up. And from my dreams telling me, he's free now. God said he was going to let him go for 1,000 years. So that's one day to God. So he said he's going to let him out. So he down here just doing him. I just want you to know that I wasn't really mixy. I just hit a few pointers so you can see that we're in a war for your soul. And we should be like prayer warriors when it comes to this, and fast more. Because It's not going to be pretty. It's not. You need to prepare. Just know that there's nothing real. Nothing is real. Nothing is real. You're talking about space is not real. There's no other planets. They talking about believing in the universe. You can't believe in dust. Can't. Because we wasn't made from the stars. Your skin is made from the bone marrow inside of your bones. With gases and chemicals. Gracious God make your skin from that. So you're basically like inside out. Your skeleton is your skin. Your bones. Like how your bone is inside, it's also your skin because that's what it's made from. From the inside. The bone marrow. What builds the bone for it to have the ulterior, that's so solid. That was what your skin is made from. That's why when your skin, that's why you need moisture and stuff to keep it hydrated. That's why you drink a lot of water and exercise and eat goods. That's how your bones stay healthy, so that's how your skin gonna stay healthy. And your hair, follicles, when it grows out, it's live inside of you, but once it stick out of you, it's dead now. That's why you try to take care of your scalp, your root, so your scalp is healthy, so it can grow your hair. Wonder why dirt grow your hair. You wash it every few weeks. Keep it moisture. You wonder why you do that, right? You only keeping the dead follicle alive. That's why you get split ends. You know? That's why the only thing that grows against gravity is your hair. Is either it falls or it grows to the sky. I just hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm just bouncing all over the place. But each point that I'm making is to tell you about the world you live in and about you individually. They're playing for keeps. And it's for your soul. We need to be prepared. This winter that's coming, save your food. Have a little gathering. Don't do a big feast. Because that's where they're going to catch you at. Because I know they're saying, they're not telling you what some of these supermarkets are going through. Because they haven't happened to your town yet. But I'm telling you, there's places that don't have any food. They have drought and famine already here in America. It just won't be on the news and you're not going to hear about it. You're only going to hear the stuff that will keep you distracted for so long. They won't talk about that because they don't want people to know there's people starving. There's people here starving already, even before this happened. And it's going to be harder for them. So we got to pray for those people as we go through this. Because people say, oh, they're waiting for the Antichrist to show his face. He's going to do it when it's at the worst, at the highest peak when it's worse. And it's getting there. And we need to get ourselves together before it goes there. So, yeah. God said the ones endures to the end. Prepare. It's happening. I love you guys. I just want to keep y'all warned what the stimulation is and what we need to prepare for. Prepare. Stock up your stuff. Don't let people lead you astray. Telling you to go invest in this, invest in this. They know everybody is going to go to that because of the digital currency that's about to come in. And everybody go to central banks. Then the man who's the Antichrist, he's going to have this one world money. And everybody's going to do one world religion. We don't want to wait for that, for us to be intact. And now that they are waiting for that king to come in, but the midst of the crisis is where the king came. This is what they were waiting on. When I seen this, I'm like, yo, the way it happened was very sneaky. I don't want to say it how it says, just that should I say this. The illuminated ones that have these things started out so long, so back when, that they've been trying to do this for so long. But each time they try, it never works out. But so happens that this plague led them to roll out their plans. So the society is dumb enough for them to roll out the plans. People are not thinking for themselves. They don't question anything. So they're dumb enough to know. And we're just going to do as we're told and believe everything that we hear. Don't search for anything. Don't have any questions. Even the Bible says anything that is conspiracy, it's real. Anything. So when they say, oh, that's a conspiracy, you just saying that because you don't want us to research it. You don't want us to look into it. If the Bible says it's real, it's real. So that big pyramid and that deep iceberg of the deepest of the conspiracy, it's real. They just say that title to make you don't want to search for the answers. Now you know. I got to go. See you on the next time. I know I was all over the place, but everything laid back to the same thing.